What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
If you saw this past week, the matches
there was so much Schmoedown.
And you could probably tell why I'm in a good mood.
You know.
Yeah, but yeah, we both made the decision. We're gonna talk about my match last.
Yeah, because if we talk about it first, I don't know. I just don't want to spend the whole time talking about it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the IG matches.
We're going to dive right in because there's so much to talk about.
5 matches to talk about.
And we don't want this episode to be like
a million hours long. Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to jump right in.
Hours.
So let's go ahead and jump into our...
We're going to jump right in. And it's kind of, sort of in the order that we watched them, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, and play-in match, right? Or do we watch something else first? Do you want? Let's go over the play match first.
All right, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Just to keep continuity with our viewers and the Schmoedown
community. So Greg Alba, Greg Idris Alba. Can we talk about that name? Wow,
moment of the year candidate right there.
That name, and Christian just being like, "Of course, this would be."
And got the real rejects.
The real rejects. Oh my God, I cannot believe that up until this year I've never really paid much attention to them. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
But this year I'm like, I've fallen head over heels for the real rejects. They are fantastic.
They're funny. They're real funny.
So I'm sure they've always been that funny. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But I'm vibing with them. So we've got Greg Idris Alba. And then we've got the Warfather. Alba is representing the Mercs. Warfather is representing the Droogs. Yeah. So, knowing that we have a lot to talk about, I didn't really take like super in-depth notes. Not that I really do that much.
So let's just jump right into it. We're not going to go in deep depth. I think we're going to talk about a couple of things for each match just because there's so many of them. Well, so outcome of this match.
Well, let's just say round 1, 5 to 8, Alba. Round 2, Greg got Spinner's Choice, MCU, multiple choice a couple of times, got both of them. Warfather got DCEU. He missed a big 2-pointer, wasn't stolen. Multiple choice 3 times, got 1, missed the other 2.
Yep.
6 to 17. Oh wait, I didn't even take. Oh, no wonder.
Because it was a knockout.
No wonder. I'm like, where are my round 3 notes?
It was a knockout.
It was 6 to 17 in favor of Greg Idris Alba.
In a knockout. Yeah.
So what is that? 4? No, 3 is a play-in.
It's a play-in, so it's only 3 match for the quirky Mercs.
So 3 points go to the Mercs.
So
and that's is it only 3?
It's because it's a play-in.
But if it was a technical knockout, it would have also
been 3.
Really?
Yeah. Any kind of knockout is only 3 points. It was only one point. Sorry, 1 extra point for. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure any kind of knockout is only worth an extra point. And since it's a play-in, it's 3.
It's not like a knockout's worth 1 more point than a technical knockout?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But yeah, these are much needed points for the quirk.
Very much
for the Mercs, because obviously they're heavy hitters in the very beginning of the season. We haven't seen Shazam.
We haven't seen Shazam since the first match.
It's very questionable if we're going to see them until studio matches.
Yeah, because the singles tournament, teams tournament.
Yeah, they can get into this massive singles tournament that we're hearing about, but but they definitely need these to catch up. Yeah. But yeah, Warfather, man.
It was rough.
It was rough go.
But then again, he was gracious. He was, he was what?
No, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
He was gracious about the loss, and then at the end of it, he was like, "Oh," and he was his jovial Warfather self the whole time. And at the end of it, it was kind of like, well, he feels like his home is more so in singles than it is in IG. So, he rolled with the punches. You got to give him credit for coming out and just even doing it in, at all.
Yeah.
So I think Warfather's a fun character to have around. I'm excited to see what he can do in singles.
Oh, yeah. Both of these competitors are very entertaining. This is more of a match that I wanted to watch for the jokes and like the character work. And I don't think this was like a high scoring match. No. It ended in a knockout. But like it wasn't like Alba was like crushing every single question. He missed a few in the first. He went to multiple choice a couple times. He got a couple of steals, I believe, or one. But for the most part, it's not like
a steal.
A steal, yeah. So it wasn't like it was like Robert Parker just like yep, and just waiting for points to come in.
obliterate him, but he did knock him out.
Yeah,
so
and that was more of
well.
like Warfather not coming to match his knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But regardless of that, there's this one joke in there that Warfather made that made Christian it just set him off, and he just sort of anytime you can get Christian to laugh on broadcast,
it was like,
and for a while too, like it's not like he just like snickered and then moved on. He had to stop the match a little bit just to like, okay,
it was like
that was good.
A name of I don't remember what the question was, but it was like some name of some character, and he says Alphonse, and it just like tickled Christian. And there's just Andrew has always said this for a long time. Mm-hmm. When you can get Christian really laughing, it's like such a jolly is not the right word, but it's just infectious.
He's an infectious laugh.
And he just starts chuckling, and you just cannot help but chuckle. Yeah, and it was just so nice to have that moment of levity. And it was just so nice. And Alphonse is hilarious.
Yeah, and like you see it on SCN, anytime SCN, so like you haven't seen something like this in a while because the whole crew hasn't been there. But like when you watch him on SCN, it's somebody does something that just sets him off, and he's laughing for like 10 minutes
just
straight.
It's a giggle switch.
It's like after a minute or two, it's like, oh, that's pretty funny. But then he keeps laughing, and then I start laughing. My cheeks hurt, my stomach hurts. It's like it's such an infectious laugh.
And Alphonse, who would have known that that's what would do it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Warfather. He might not see another IG match for a while, but he still lives on in singles. Mm-hmm. And even if he loses a match or two in singles and maybe jumps back into the IG, he'll get matches because he's so entertaining.
Yeah, and he's got a big character.
He's got a big personality. The character is fantastic. And I just love. I know it's Robert Myron is kind of like a
sensitive
subject right now, but that shot in the promo with them side by side, just doing their villain laughs, it's like
it was still
still pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
but it's just stuff like that. I want to see Warfather again because of the person. I want to see Greg Alba and the Reject because they're so entertaining.
Yeah.
So that's something I took away from this match. Even though it was just a play-in and it wasn't high scoring, but
yeah, it was more of a lighthearted match. Mm-hmm. Greg did surprisingly well. Not that we expected him to bomb anything, but he did surprisingly well. They're both a delight to watch, and I'm excited to see more from both of them.
And in the promo, Greg is like he has somebody holding the camera. He's like, "Well, I'm competing in the IG."
He starts out sleeping.
He's like, "Well, I guess I'm okay."
Man, I've been sleeping on
the
Greg
real
Alba,
rejects,
and both of them really. Mm-hmm. But not anymore.
Yeah, no, it was a very entertaining match. But now we'll probably get into predictions because there's the next week's schedule it's only 3 matches. So, any more thoughts on this? Anything big from this match that we can think of? Just I
don't think so. Yeah. I don't think there was anything
controversial.
Nothing controversial.
Alba kept swearing.
Alba swore a couple times, but at least it wasn't live, so you could edit them out.
You had a good point. It's like if you're gonna try to steer away from
no, wait, we're not nitpicking here. No nitpicking. Okay.
Okay. No. I'm just saying it's a production note. I would say I would much prefer them not to bleep, but just to cut the audio out, because then you had a good point of bleeping something calls attention to it, and you want to get away from that. So, my opinion. You guys?
I didn't say it. It wasn't me.
It's just a production note that I feel that it would call less attention to it than just cut the audio out and then just gloss over it.
Just make it silent.
Yeah, just make it silent. Because you have music going on in the background anyways. So, videographer note, person that deals with editing on a regular basis. That's my opinion.
So nitpicky.
Sorry, Christian. Sorry.
Let it go.
Sorry.
Christmas. Wow. Christ. So let's move on to the next match.
Next match.
So actually, we just watched this match tonight.
I missed a good cue on that. Hey, I was like, oh,
shut up, stupid.
That's what he's gonna say to us.
That's always a good segue. So we just watched Hannah versus Saul tonight.
Yes.
So it's fresh in our brains.
Oh yeah,
baby. So Brandon Hannah, very anticipated match.
Yes, very anticipated
Brandon
match.
the Hitman Hannah representing the Droogs, another Droog match.
Yeah.
And then we got Saul. Mm-hmm. Just Saul, right?
Saul,
he don't have a nickname. He's just Saul.
Just Saul.
And Saul represents the Den.
And
lots of history
here. If you do not know the history behind this, Hannah, went for this season, I believe, or no, not this season, but from his two matches with Chandru, twice gets beaten by Chandru. Dan decides to put him to the side, puts Saul in his place, and he is not having it.
Not having it.
Demands a trade, gets traded to Droogs for James White, I believe is the trade. Something like that. And he just goes on a rampage, just like,
I'm going to burn everything down.
Wow, like burning every single bridge and all that.
Making little Twitter videos and, all these tweets everywhere, Facebook posts.
If you don't know what's going on, where have you been?
Yeah,
so
real.
We're not going to linger on that.
Brandon Hanna, probably one of the most active heels in the Schmoedown right now. I'm not sure I would say best, but I would say one of the most active right now.
He's probably the villain right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we haven't seen Kalinowski much.
We haven't seen anything from Guy lately.
Yeah. He's the and Jeff Snyder has
Shannon's been kind of quiet lately because they haven't had a match. So
yeah, the Laura Kelly match, but
yeah, true.
But yeah, for the most part, he is the heel right now.
Yeah.
The active heel.
Yes.
So there's a lot. The promo was so good.
Eric is a wizard.
Nerd Chronic is just God, wizard. He's such an inspiration as an editor. Oh my God, it was so good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
And it's not just that one. They've all been.
Oh, but this one I was like,
yeah, this one was really good.
Wow.
It was a journey.
Yeah, that was like, oof, man, you want stories, you want storylines. Just watch that promo, man. God, that was so good.
Eric's a beast.
Yeah.
Good job, Eric. Call you Harry Potter, baby. You're a wizard. So round 1, Brandon Hitman Hanna. He got a perfect round. However, he missed the bonus. 9-10 Hanna. Round 2, Brandon got Wizarding World. Look at that. Went to multiple choice one time. Got it. Saul got MCU. Big 2-point miss, but luckily it wasn't stolen.
Seal,
Then he went to multiple choice one time and got it. Round 2, 16-19 Hanna. Round 3, Saul. He got 2 points. DC, who played Rorschach, got it. 3 points. Saul. Back to the Future. What was the name of the principal at Marty's school? Who knows that? He did because he got it.
It took me a second to get to it, but didn't
even remember.
It's not a huge deep cut. Again, it's only a 3-pointer. It's one of those kind of questions. If you're not paying attention to the movie, it's easily forgettable.
Very forgettable.
Does guy ever have hair?
I don't get that reference.
It's another trilogy.
Not even for a second.
You've seen the first one at least, right?
I think so.
Oh my God, I love that trilogy. I know people have their opinions on the third one.
No, I've seen it. I know he tries to hook up with his mom in a car, right? And then he created Johnny B. Good.
We thought,
it would be fun if he tries to pick his mom.
John
man. A John Mulaney stand-up is what we're referencing.
Yeah, if you don't know.
It's a good time. 3 points for Saul. Oh, yeah, it was Back to the Future. Then it bounces to Brandon for his 2-point for weapons, tech, vehicles, and magical objects. Woof.
Wow,
Am I right, ladies?
Objects, basically.
Oh, my goodness.
Like weapons.
But, it was a 2-pointer, so he got the power source for... Okay, when I type on my phone, I use swipe. I don't type like normal. So oftentimes I'll just be swiping like a crazy person, and then I'll go back and read it later and like, what happened here? What did I get auto-corrected? It says power source for Iron Mama Man suits. Wow.
No, which one was that one that we thought he guessed on?
That's the next one.
Oh, okay.
Getting a little ahead of me.
Sorry.
So power source for Iron Mama Man suits. He got it.
Yeah.
No, that's the next one. Then Hanna, it goes to his 3-pointer. He gets Star Trek, a maneuver. This is the one.
Yeah.
Star Trek, some maneuver that they do to make the ship go back in time. I don't know if he was trying to channel Bateman. I don't know if he was trying to channel who else does this. They act like they don't know it.
Roka does it sometimes.
Sometimes. But he literally, we were like, oh no. We were literally watching it like, wow, Robert Meyer Burnett is probably like peeing his pants right now. Like, wow, you don't know this? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Then he says it.
Yeah, he looked like he didn't know it. And to me, it looked like, I don't know, the slingshot maneuver.
Slingshot maneuver. So either he's a fantastic actor or it was a really controlled, calm guess.
Yeah, like a really good estimate. It's like, I've heard... Like my guess is that he was like, I think like I heard this maneuver used in a Star Trek before, the slingshot maneuver, and it just happened to be right. And I'm like, okay, cool.
My brain makes me think that it was an act, because if it was like a real guess, he would have been like, Unless he was just really good at hiding it.
I think he was just really good at. I don't know. I don't
really know because it was played really well.
It was. I was like, oh wow, okay, I guess it's right.
Yeah, I'm like slingshot. Wow, nice guess, idiot. But then it was right. So I'm still not really sure. So
yeah, but that was like, wow, okay, cool.
Congrats on that one. Oh,
you lost your place.
Oh no. Okay, I'm back. And then it goes back to Saul for his 5-pointer. Mm-hmm. He gets MCU. In Avengers, the chemical element that Loki makes Hawkeye steal, and he missed it. Iridium.
Yeah, I was off by like a
uranium. Yeah. So, anyways, 21-24 in favor of Hannah. So, he did what he set out to do. Mm-hmm. He beat the Den. He got to, trash talk Grace and Kate at the end of the match. Mm-hmm. They had some comebacks, whatever. I wouldn't expect any different. So, it was a fantastic showing for Saul making his debut in IG. Nothing to sneeze at all. Mm. And it's good for storyline.
Yeah, it's just it's good storyline. And I think the big takeaway for me is that Saul has a future in IG.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe he's like, all right, I want another chance. Maybe put me into that singles tournament, like that. From what I hear, the singles tournament is like 32 players. It's gonna be massive. But he said he wants to jump into singles. Because I think at the draft he said that he wanted to be a singles player first, but then as time went on, oh no, IG is my spot, so he wants to go into IG. And he had some ridiculous comments on I believe it was Let's Get Ready to podcast or whatever
Let's Get Ready.
Yeah, Let's Get Ready podcast. About saying how the IG is the premier division of the Schmoedown, and Smets is the de facto champion of the Schmoedown.
IG is like the big boy league.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
There's not any one of these much respect. Kevin Smets.
Oh yeah.
A champ. Mm-hmm. No shade to him or the IG at all. But every one of these divisions is the big boy league, the big boy girl league, the big anybody league. The
big time.
You know what I'm saying? Big time. It's not easy to get the belt in any of these leagues. No, if it was, everybody would be a belt holder by now.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure that I would say, IG is the league. Yeah. That's the one.
No, that's one of. Yeah.
All 4 of them are hard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I said, you'd have more people that have that stat to their name.
And you could say teams is a little easier, maybe, just because you have somebody with you that can. If I was to be partnered with like Dan Merle, he would obviously carry me through the division. I'd just be lucky to get a couple points here and there. But to say that, I always kind of hate these comparisons. It's like, oh, which is the harder division? It's like they're all hard to compete in. It's just a matter.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, exactly. It's apples and oranges. The IG is hard because there's it's more specific, but there's a broader category of films than the Star Wars division. Star Wars has 10, 12 films that you're drawing from at the moment.
Yeah.
But the questions are so insane specific, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
That it makes it you have to commit even more than the IG, and then when you jump into teams and singles, the categories are so broad.
So many movies.
And it's like I'm always in awe. Like, how does anybody know this? And singles players, Dan Merle included, has turned to me. He's like, I have no idea how you guys do this.
Right back at you,
Right back at you, Dan. I have no idea how you know as much as you know.
How do you know that many movies?
Yeah, I always kind of hesitate when people compare the divisions. It's like they're different. I don't think
they can be compared.
Different. You have to study and you have to prepare differently for each division.
The only 2 that can be compared, in my opinion, is singles and teams because they essentially have the same question pool, but they both have different elements to them. Mm-hmm. Singles, you're on your own, buddy boy.
Yeah.
But if you're in teams, sure, you have a teammate that you can confer with in round 2.
Yeah, and rely on.
Question 3 of round 3 and whatever. But just because you have somebody with you doesn't mean you're going to go far. Mm-hmm. You got to find somebody you got chemistry with, somebody that you vibe with, someone that fills your gaps, know?
Exactly.
So,
family friendly.
You got to have somebody that complements you. Your yin to your yang. So they all have their own, they all have a reason why they're all incredibly difficult, and it's incredibly prestigious to hold that belt. I didn't mean to go on so long about this, but I think that they all have their own merits, and they all have a reason why they're all incredibly difficult to get to the belt.
Especially now, yeah. So Yeah, but
so that was Saul and Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon gets to move on. He's backing up his smack talk. He did pretty good. I mean, aside from he missed his extra point in the first round, went to multiple choice a couple times in his second, and missed the steal. That's nothing to Brandon, whatever. It's like he did really well. He did. Like when your back's against the wall.
Especially if it's not a division that you initially set out to play in.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Brandon.
Oh, Brandon. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Saul. I'm trying to give my boy props.
No, Brandon did
well. Obviously, he won.
Yeah.
So, just we'll see. Because I'm sure that now that match has debuted, I'm sure that he's got a lot more to say since now he has the fire of a win underneath him.
Oh, yeah. And now he has to go up against the winner of Damon.
Damon Kemp. I cannot
I'm very interested in that match. And we'll get to our predictions later on because that comes up next week. So
it sure does. So let's move on to the next Innergeekdom. Adam Holoubek of Swag versus Craig the Barbarian of the Finstock Exchange.
Yeah.
So, can I just start off by saying that Adam Holoubek has one of the most soothing voices in the Schmoedown and very nice handwriting.
Oh, he has the best handwriting in the entire league. Yes. I have chicken scratch for handwriting.
Saul had really nice handwriting too, and Brandon had really nice handwriting.
Yeah, but Holoubek is it's like calligraphy almost.
It's very nice.
Very nice handwriting. But yeah, I followed him back in his old days with he was on this other channel. I've talked about this before. It was superhero something I can't remember.
DC movie. That's Kalinowski.
No. It was another hero channel that they had to move away from, and then they got picked up by Hyper RPG. And I haven't been listening to them as much anymore. Obviously because I got to do other things. But I've been following him for a long time, and he's very knowledgeable and he knows what he's talking about. It's just, man, old wounds come to show up in this match. It's just he just can't seem to get over this Middle Earth thing.
Yeah. So let's get into it on that note. So we've got Adam Holoubek, Craig the Barbarian,
and we obviously had Barbarian going into this.
I mean,
because
that's not too
de facto faction.
That's not hard to guess. Yeah. So round one, Holoubek missed a Boromir quote, and so it begins.
Yeah.
They both missed some Harry Potter question. Holoubek misses whoever composed Star Trek. It's funny because they asked, whatever Star Trek movie, who's the composer? And I'm like, oh, Michael Giacchino, James Horner, John Williams, Alexander Desplat. One of those is correct. And then, wow, crazy how it was James Horner. So at the end of round one, 7-9 in favor of Craig the Barbarian. Round two, Craig gets MCU. He goes to multiple choice 3 times. He got a Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3 question, Avengers question. He got all 3 in multiple choice.
This was a great move because he knows Holoubek is strong in MCU.
Yes.
And they talked about it on the show. It's like, we know he's strong in this. Let's take it off the wheel so he can't get it.
Right.
And it ended up being a very good move.
Yeah. Well, hindsight's 2020. Yeah. You didn't know if it was going to work. It just turned out that it did.
Yeah.
So Craig, multiple choice 3 times, got them all. Then Adam spins. He gets opponent's choice.
After he spins away from something, then lands on MCU, can't take it, spins again. Opponent's choice.
And Craig opts to give him Middle Earth.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
woof.
God, he can't get away from it. And it's just, he does better than he has in the past with this, I believe.
So he goes, there's 5 questions, right? He goes to multiple choice 4 times, gets 3 of them, gets 1 multiple choice stolen.
Yeah.
He also misses a 2-point question. No multiple choice. 2-point
Doesn't
miss.
Get stolen.
Who's the voice of Sauron? Wow. No steal. Which is lucky because that would have probably been devastating.
Yeah.
So, he gets through it. By the end of round 2, 10-17 in favor of the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Round 3, 2-point for Adam, who said it, some Superman quote.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. He got it.
And he was very specific on it, too. It was Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't remember.
Yeah.
Then 3-point Adam. Can't get away from Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Frodo's alias at the Prancing Pony.
Oh, that one is another one where it's like, if you're not paying attention in the movie, it's so easily forgettable.
Underhill.
Yeah.
He missed it. Can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
And then Adam's 5-pointer, he gets DCEU, a book given as a gift in Aquaman to somebody.
Ooh.
And it was Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And he got it.
That was a good one.
A big old pull there, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he gets that one. So it bounces back to Craig for his 2-pointer. Craig gets DC. Who played Dr. Hammond in Green Lantern? He got it. So that was the match.
Yeah, nearly a TKO. So that's 3 points for
3 points for the exchange. 17 to 19 in favor of the Barbarian.
And we were talking about this not too long ago. It's like I would be mad too if I wasn't on the exchange.
Yeah.
And like it's like why? Why do we keep winning?
I mean, because
it's like I get it, but like at this point, the Horsemen aren't playing. Mm-hmm. None of the Horsemen. We haven't seen the Horsemen since what was the last Horsemen match? It was Who's the Boss?
It wasn't Dan versus Ben.
No, that was it?
Have we seen Who's the Boss play this year?
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yeah, they played Odd Couple in a studio match.
Oh,
I believe that was the last Horseman match.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but like we haven't seen Roka or Merle.
And it's been a minute.
Play in a while. Bateman and Riley we haven't seen in a while either. So it's like
it's been a little bit.
And Gucci made this comment. It's like, oh yeah, they're catching up on us because we haven't been playing up until these tournaments with me and Barbarian.
Yeah.
And like right now we had this in texting. Barbarian alone has picked up 10 points for the exchange.
He's a beast.
And I don't mean to make this the exchange hour.
Propaganda hour
for the exchange, but like wow, I mean,
he's a beast.
It's like, and we'll get back to this when we talk about my match too. But like, he is a beast.
Yeah,
he's so good, and he will be on the show. We're gonna have him on tonight, but then there's so many matches. I want to dedicate more time to talking to him.
And we don't want to gloss over his match, and also I think he might have had a scheduling conflict too. No. We
just wanted to move it back because I want enough time to talk to him about his Schmoedown journey.
Yeah, we don't want to gloss over his match.
Yeah, because there's so many other things to worry about and talk about. So we pushed it back to next week. Yeah. So he'll be on next week with us. So join us for that. But yeah, he's only missed what out of all of his matches so far, including the exhibition,
a handful of questions.
Maybe like less than 4. Something like that, including steals.
Yeah.
So he's crazy, and he has to go up against the winner of who am I thinking of?
Humphreys and
Janine. Yes, looking forward to that match. But like, yeah.
Is there any match that I'm not looking forward to?
Yeah, these tournaments are so good. There's a couple like the play-ins is like maybe like with Saul and
still exciting.
Yeah, still exciting. But like next week with Damon and Kemp, I have no idea what to expect. So, but like for the most part, the rest of the members we've seen, or the players we've seen what they're capable of for the most part. So, oh my god, especially the Star Wars tournament.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So
it's crazy. It's nail biting.
But yeah, I was glad that we were able to get this win. It's because this is unfamiliar territory for Barbarian almost because
this was his debut, right?
Yeah, this is his debut in IG. He's much. I think he's better. I think he said before that he wants singles division is where he wanted to start and then venture out into the other divisions.
Well, you did it, Craig.
He wants to be all 4 divisions. He said at one point he wants to jump into the Star Wars division.
He wants a belt on his other shoulder, then here, then here, then here. And then he said another one over here. I'm like, Craig, there's not that many belts, baby. But go ahead.
Oh man, he's sneaky funny. Like
he's hilarious.
He is hilarious.
I don't think you missed it. You were in the other room, but when he was like talking about Holoubek, he was oh my god.
I think I was outside with the dog.
Watch Craig's promo if you haven't for some reason, but I gotta show it to you because I don't want to try to remember it because I'm not going to, and it's gonna be very anticlimactic. But it was funny, and he like just could not pronounce Holoubek's name right, and it was great.
He's very like it's almost like Alba, but a little bit more dry.
Incredibly dry.
And it's incredibly dry,
like
humor,
sandpapery dry.
Yeah,
but I'm cool with it.
It's very funny, and he's another one of these players. I've said it before that he's able to balance the knowledge with the character work.
Yes,
and there's very few people that can do that in the league. So, I'm glad that he's getting these ones. I'm glad that even if he would have lost this match, we're going to see more of the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Because he is obviously with singles, we want to put him together with somebody on a team. Maybe Sabrina, maybe Gray. We haven't seen Gray at all.
I have not heard from Gray.
The way that things are going, who knows if we get to see Cody play? Who knows if we get to see Gray? People forget that Gray Drake is on our team.
Exactly. She's a busy lady.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, Sabrina, I'm sure, is chomping at the bit. That girl, I mean, you don't know. She's an unproven rookie. You don't know.
Yeah.
But just hearing her talk about stuff on Cocktails and Casting with Ben, with Goddard, I'm just like, this girl's seen a couple movies or something. So we'll see what she has to offer. I think it could be very interesting to see what she and Craig do together as a team. Yeah. So we'll see what Bobby Gucci has cooking up.
We'll see what he got for the Gucci verse. But as far as Holoubek goes, like, I don't think he's done in the division. He's a very knowledgeable guy. If you watch him on our Hyper RPG and all these other shows, he's very knowledgeable. It's just this Middle Earth thing. Just he can't seem to either shake it or just he commented on the match afterwards, like, for some reason, just Lord of the Rings, he has trouble names just don't stick in his head, as well as maybe Star Wars or Star Trek names come in. And I get it, because you rattle off a bunch of like Middle Earth names. It's like, I have no idea which one's which.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting, because Holoubek is on what faction?
He's on the oh shoot.
Hold on. I just said it. Everybody just forget that happened.
He's on the Mercs, right? No, he's on.
Maybe everybody just hold on.
You have a graphic.
Adam Holoubek is on Swag.
Sorry.
So if I was Winston, I probably would have been sitting there like screaming into the abyss, like, stop giving everyone a blueprint of your weaknesses.
No, and that's the thing. It's not like he said it. He's like, I've watched these movies, and like it's a sucky. Oh, shoot. It's a really sucky category to be not familiar with, because these movies are 4 hours long.
And there's 75 of them.
There's 6 of them.
Potato.
Like extended editions, 4 hours long. It's like, I got to brush up on my Lord of the Rings. Oh my God. Who has time for that?
Who's got the time?
Yeah. It's like, oh my God. It's such like,
who's got the time?
But like, I want to see Holoubek in this division, because I'm such a big fan of his, and like, he's been close several times to getting over that hump. It just can't seem to get away from Middle Earth.
Yeah, and also he said that he's just a super busy dude. Yeah. So I'm sure that I know there's people in this league that are super serious. They got their binders, they got their spreadsheets, they're like, they're into this.
Yeah.
And with the way Holoubek was talking, he said, because I think Mark or Christian asked him in the pregame interview, like, how has the pandemic and everything affected you? And he was like, we've been busier. Yeah, so it's like, how much time has he actually been able to devote to this?
Yeah.
How dangerous would he be if he did have the time?
Yeah.
Does he have the interest or the drive, if he did have the time, to become like super dangerous again? Who knows? Time will tell. He's a busy boy, though.
Yeah, and I think this is a case where, like, again, he's a very knowledgeable guy. It's just the division is just starting to evolve to where you can't just go off of bare knowledge anymore.
It's hard to be a casual player.
Yeah, you can't. If you want to make waves in the division, especially in IG, and you want to go far in the division, you can't just like, I've seen that movie. I'm familiar with. I love this category. I love Star Wars. So you can't release, because the division is just gonna leave you behind.
Yeah.
So
there's just so
and it's not and with
so much.
Yeah, and with him, I don't think it's a matter of drive. It's just a matter of, like you said, a matter of time to commit to that studying. So
it's a matter of commitment and a matter of how much do you want it.
I don't see him leaving. He's a personality that I really like having around the Schmoedown.
Me too.
And he's just like you said, he has a very warm presence.
He does.
So.
I just want him to like read bedtime stories or something. Like, he's just got a very soothing voice.
Oh, yeah.
And also, before we move into Star Wars, because that I think was the last IG match that we could talk about, Mark Ellis. Let's just talk about the fact that I think he's had a different like StreamYard, whatever name, for every single match so far.
I know where you're going with this.
I don't remember which match it was for. Maybe it was Barbarian Holoubek. I don't remember. But at one point, his name was what? Was it Chief Stearns?
Yeah. Or Captain Stearns.
Or Captain Stearns. Something Stearns. And I was like, what is that from? So I Googled it. It's only from one of my most favorite childhood movies ever. And I was like so embarrassed that I did not get that reference.
Yeah, it's the police chief from...
police chief from Ninja Turtles from like the 90s. Are you trying to tell me how to do my job? I love Ninja Turtles, and I was really embarrassed that I didn't pick up on that. It's not even like I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah, it sounded familiar. Not at all. I'm gonna totally admit it. One of my favorite movies. I had no idea, and that just goes to show you.
Yeah.
That could have been a question. Who knows? Imagine if it was.
Imagine
if it was, and that was his name by chance.
That's the one thing I'm kind of like
be careful.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Harlow hasn't like, hey, we might want to change your name.
I mean, it's 1 in a million.
It is.
That it's ever gonna be any factor.
And for all I know, they might have looked ahead in the sheet and like, yeah, you're good.
I don't think it's that deep. I just think it's a matter of like, what are the chances? But Chief Stern's dang.
He does it for the Star Wars matches too, and it's
he was SB Crumb, and I don't remember what the other one was.
I think it was
one was SB Crumb. I just don't remember what the other one was.
I don't remember. Yeah, it was a character. It's like, oh, Mark, careful, you're gonna give away an answer.
Careful, baby. But it's serious. It's like 1 in a million, especially in Innergeekdom. Star Wars, but still, pretty much 1 in a million. Yeah. That it would ever actually be like a clue to something.
Yeah, and he also does it too. He'll do some color commentary for the match, and it's like he'll mention a character name or a location or a line. Like,
it's like, ooh, easy, careful.
Easy, careful. You're going to give away an answer. Don't tell him the secret.
Yeah, he was something about like, bullseyeing Womprats. I'm like, well, I need to be careful. What if somebody forgot about that? Don't talk about T16s. What if that fell out of their head? So... on that subject, let's venture into Star Wars.
So, do we want to talk about my match first, or...
Hey, baby, you call the shots, all right? Rock, paper, scissors.
I feel that there's more to talk about in the Damon Witt match than mine, because... Yeah. Let's just go ahead and get into mine. There's the only talking point.
All right, well, before we get there, let's just breeze through it. So we got Scrimshaw. Joseph, the Jedi. I think Jedi. He was just the Jedi.
Yeah, the Jedi.
No, I think in this match he was the Jedi Master, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
Joseph, the Jedi Master, Scrimshaw, versus Andrew the Hunter Dimalanta.
Who's that? That guy sounds dumb.
Who is that? Sounds cute. Is he single? So round 1.
No, he's not.
Man, really missed my shot there. So round 1. The only one that I took a note on, and it's not for anything, it doesn't matter because you both got everything right. So I just thought that I don't even know why I took this note. There's no point.
Yeah, the only talking point for this match.
Don't jump ahead of us. is the challenge.
Is the last question.
Yes, but I took a note on the informant in Maz Eisley because I just thought it was a great question, and I was proud of myself because I knew it. But,
no, I think the only note for that is pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
I spelled it right.
Garindan, whatever.
Garindan, Grindin, I can't remember how Scrimshaw pronounced it. I've heard it several different ways. That's the way I pronounce it. And And I actually did when I flipped my board around. I went Garindan, and Christian's like,
I know. I got super nervous because I'm like, he's right.
I'm right. No, I'm right.
No.
And he was just checking the spelling because
probably
pronunciation. People pronounce it differently. He's pronounced names that are completely different than how I pronounce.
Yeah, not that it's wrong. It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
Because
so he was just
they're made up names. It's like you just. It's just like you just took, Scrabble tiles out of a bag and you're like, there's a Star Wars name. So
I feel that's more like for
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. I could be wrong.
Gimli.
No, but yeah, I got
Sauron and Saruman.
I got super nervous when he was like, no, he's just checking the spelling.
Me too, because I was like, I know he's right.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
So Andrew and Joseph both got perfect rounds, and then they both got the bonus question. I think it was like, who was Count Dooku's apprentice or whatever, and it was obviously Qui-Gon. Duh. Mm-hmm. So they both had 11-11 by the end of round 1. Round 2, Andrew got the Phantom Menace. He got a perfect round. Joseph got a New Hope. He got a perfect round. Not really much to talk about there. There were no steals. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So in his second round, I was about to challenge his red leader answer,
which people picked up on.
Because I stopped. I'm like, but I'm glad I didn't because again, this challenge did come into effect at the end of the match, which ended up leading to my victory.
Right.
But I'm glad I'm glad because I saved it. 2, I misheard the question.
Right.
Because I heard the name of the pilot and not the call sign. We went back and rewatched it. It's like, what is the call sign? I'm like, okay, so now I'm really glad that I didn't because I misheard it.
Yeah.
So But yeah, so that's the only note that I think we should talk about in the segment, because like people actually know, somebody in the patron questions like, yeah, I saw that you're
Garth McMurray.
Yeah, Garth McMurray's like, I saw that you were about to challenge that. I was like, yeah.
Glad I didn't.
I'm glad I didn't. And the reason why, even if I didn't mishear it, I was like, it's one question. I'll make the points up somewhere else, because he could slip up in one of the next. Because this was the very first question. He can slip up, go to multiple choice in one of his next ones. He can miss his 5. He can miss his 3. So I saved it because
you never know.
You never know. Points can be made up somewhere else. I might need it for a 5-pointer that is very controversial, but I saved it nonetheless, and it ended up paying off, because the first question of sudden death.
Why are you jumping ahead? We're not there yet. My question for round 2. He's just trying to get to the and your winner part. So round 2. Round 2. I understand. But my question just, it's just, I'm just curious. I wonder what would have happened in some, alternate universe, bizarro world. Yeah. I wonder what would have happened had, you outright said that you misheard the question. You thought it was the name, not the call sign specifically. So I wonder what would have happened if you said, no, actually, it's, so-and-so. I wonder, would they have taken your challenge and said, no, that wasn't what we asked? Or would they have said, no, you can't challenge it. That's not what we asked. We'll never know. I'm just curious how it would have panned out had you challenged it, actually.
If I was in Harloff's spot, again, I'm trying to take this question as subjectively as possible. I think he would have been like, no, we
objectively?
So objectively as possible. Or subject, yeah. But I think they were like, no, yeah, we asked for the call sign. It's like,
right.
Okay, so move on.
So that's why I'm wondering if he would have been like, no, shut up. You're not challenging, because that's not even what we asked. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Just curious. It's just fun to, muse about stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's what they would have done, because he's like, no, yeah, we asked for the call sign. He's right. It's
yeah.
Like, okay, so
kind of like the whole challenge. Did he get it in time? No, you're not challenging because it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I wonder. It doesn't really matter. Round 3. So Andrew got Rogue One, Strongest Stars Have Hearts of Kyber, got it. Joseph, New Hope, Vader's Devotion to Sorcerer's Ways, sad, got it. 3-point Andrew, Last Jedi, Members of the Resistance, there's like 400. Got it. 3-point Joseph, Creatures and Alien Races, The Skeleton in a New Hope, Crate Dragon, got it. Greater Crate Dragon. 5-point Andrew, Droids. Can I just say, when they asked this question, I specifically remember studying this question
because we talked about it.
Because we had this question, in our
notes.
arsenal, and I was just like, yes, I know he knows this question. Yeah. I know it's in his head. It just needs to come out of his head. Yeah. So I was pretty excited about that. I'm in the other room like, please.
Yeah, and we had just reviewed it like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. I was in, so he was obviously in this room, and I was in the living room, and I was,
with our daughter,
tending to our daughter and our dog the whole time. I could not breathe. Like, I had no saliva in my mouth.
You couldn't breathe.
Yeah. I couldn't breathe. No saliva in my mouth. I was just like holding my breath the whole time. So when he got that Hellfire Droids, I was like, oh, I know he knows this. Yeah. So then he gets that, Hellfire Droids, whatever. Who doesn't know that? 5-pointer, Joseph, he gets Attack of the Clones. Some meeting, some Jedi meeting. I don't remember the exact context of the meeting, but it was
name 5 of the
7 Jedi. Name 5 of them that were in the room.
And it was just like it's like a repeat of Chicago. It's another Jedi Order question, and he's so
good at Jedi Order.
He's so good at Jedi Order. So I was like, once he said, name all 5. I'm like, he's got this. We're going.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised he didn't name all 7.
Yeah.
So he got his 5-pointer. To nobody's surprise, and actually to everyone's delight, because I think everyone wanted to see Guy's claw to the end. Yeah. People were in the, I wasn't fully paying attention to Twitch chat because I didn't.
Oh, it goes by so fast.
Well, first of all, it goes by so fast. Second of all, I was just so nervous. And third of all, I saw a couple of the comments in the beginning of the match, like, "Oh, can't wait to make it 0-3. Me, Dimalanta." And I was like, all right, I'm done here.
Yeah, as much as angry as I was, and as much as fed up as I am, and as I was of the 0-2 comments and the overrated comments and all that, Nicki is just like done with all of it.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm done, baby. I'm done. And I saw Brandon Hanna. This this guy. It's just something else. He even chimed into this match, and I was like, what? We've like barely talked to you. You're really committed to this to this heel thing. But he like when they first introduced Andrew, and he just looked pissed. Brandon Hanna, like I saw him chime in the chat, like, look at how nervous he is.
So
LOL.
I want to comment on that look. That was half to be again beyond the Schmoedown, pulling the curtain back just a little bit. That was half me and half character work. You look like Anakin in the Revenge of the Sith when he's got like his hood over his face. It was more more character than it was passion, but a lot of it was just me just being fed up because everything that I was fed up with was getting hit on in the thing. It's like 0-2, backs against the wall. If he doesn't perform here,
do or die.
He's do or die. He's pretty much done with this division. And I just like I'm sitting in the waiting area, how StreamYard works. Yeah. I'm in backstage and I'm just seething these. I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Just stop talking about this. Just get this match on. I'm so tired of this. And I just kept stewing, and then I was like, let me just play this up because this is the character that I've chosen.
Because it's a Schmoedown, baby.
Yeah, this is the character that I've chosen for myself. This is the character that I want to move forward with. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and just stare daggers into the camera.
Yeah.
And it seemed to have worked because even Harlow was like,
You're right
there, man. You look ready to go. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's just get this over with. Jeez.
Yeah.
But as soon as the match started, I started to calm down, and Gucci did point this out that. And we've been working, and this is a testament to how good a manager Gucci is. That nobody ever realizes this. What
goes on behind the scenes?
What goes on behind the scenes?
They just see Gucci talking nonsense in front of a camera, shirtless.
Yeah, every manager does this. It's like, oh yeah, we're preparing, so hard on this guy. We're doing this, we're doing that.
They know everything.
They know all this, and it's like they have to do that because you got to talk your player up.
That's what they should be doing.
That's what they should be doing.
Everyone.
But nobody knows 100% what is actually going on behind the scenes.
It could be kind
of. I'm telling you right now that everything that Gucci said is 100% accurate. We worked really hard on where I needed to improve, and we talked about this before. Where I needed to improve was jumping the gun, not taking my time, slowing down. And you watch the match, every single question. 2, 3, go. So, that's something that I really worked on really hard, and it ended up paying off because there was a couple of times where I was like, nope, that's the answer, and then I did it. So, you can really see the improvement in what we've been working on. So, but so let's get to this where the controversy lies in this match.
So, the controversy in this match. Mm-hmm. Can you audio listeners hear my air quotes? Yeah. I'm doing it so vigorously.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, even if it wasn't Andrew, my husband, even if it was 2 Star Wars competitors I have no relationship to, I do not understand where this controversy is coming from.
Yeah.
I am 100% able to detach the fact that it's Andrew. Mm-hmm. Even if this was 2 rando people that I had no idea who they were, I do not understand the controversy. So the question, I didn't write down the word for word question, but it was essentially, and it, match went to overtime. Mm-hmm. First overtime question, paraphrasing for the most part. Mm-hmm. What did Darth Vader say was the only thing that could destroy him?
I think it was like according to Vader.
According to Vader.
What was the thing? What was the only thing that it was said that could destroy him? Something like that.
Along those lines. We have the key words that are, key words. It just might not be the exact wording of the question.
Yeah.
Should have probably written it down, but whatever.
You're busy.
What did Vader say was the one thing that could destroy him? Andrew says Luke's hatred.
Completely misspell hatred, but
Andrew never claimed to be a spelling bee champ.
I'm terrible at spelling. Like, no.
I can spell Coruscant. I can spell Dagobah, but he never claimed to be a spelling bee champ.
No.
Can I reference Geppetto? So he said Luke's hatred. Joseph said Luke. The initial ruling was you're both right. Let's move on. Andrew said I would like to challenge. And Gucci chimed in. Yeah, I'd like to challenge too.
And on that note, we talked about this after the match. Immediately when Gucci saw, he told me once he saw me starting doing this, he's typing in the private chat.
Challenge.
And And I think Christian picked up on that. He's like, you want to talk to Gucci? Because I was like, yeah, we need to challenge that right now.
Yes. So the challenge was issued officially. They deliberated. They put that sweet challenge graphic on the screen. I'm having a straight up heart attack in the other room because I'm like, I know exactly what line. And while Andrew, was justifying his challenge, he cited the quote that Vader said, "Only your hatred can destroy me."
That's the exact quote.
So that was what he cited as his justification. They go and deliberate. I'm in the other room having an absolute heart attack, and I cannot breathe because I know that technically Andrew's right.
Not even technically.
Realistically, Andrew's right.
I'm absolutely right.
He is right. So after about what felt like 5 hours of deliberation.
It was more like 3 to 5 minutes.
It felt like a lifetime.
Yeah.
So they came back. They said that after deliberation, after they talked to the writers, blah blah blah, they announced that the challenge was upheld and that Andrew is the winner. Let's just like anybody is expecting anything different. Of course, we're going to talk about this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I do not understand the controversy behind this question. Some of the things that I saw in either the live Twitch chat the Facebook group or after the fact on various podcasts or whatever, and I haven't actually listened to that many podcasts, mainly the Twitch chat and like Facebook posts, that people were like, one of the arguments that I saw that I just think is silly was like, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, and it's not like just one person made this argument. I think I saw a couple people.
Times, yeah.
Well, Luke's hatred comes from Luke. So technically, Joseph's right. We don't have room for technically in the Star Wars division. No. Everybody complains that, Star Wars is so limited. There's a shallow pool of questions that you have. Okay, yes, you're right. There is no fighting that. You're right. There's a very finite number of movies. And what goes with that is a finite number of questions. With that in mind, you need to be precise in this division. You cannot have 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon in this division.
No, you can't.
You cannot have, that he said this, but that relates to this, and that relates to that. So, by that logic, he's right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And the question was, what did Vader say? What did Vader say was the only thing that could destroy him?
Yeah, and the key word is what? I just smacked my mic.
It's getting heated in here. So Vader's line, only your hatred. Vader gave you the answer. Only your hatred. I saw somebody else in the Twitch chat was like, well, Andrew's technically not right either because that's not the quote. They didn't ask for a quote.
Yeah, so to that argument, this is not a quotes question. I think the first question in the entire match was what did Obi-Wan say?
Attack of the Clones.
And Attack of the Clones, what did Obi-Wan say after they crash land on Coruscant? And they actually said, we need the exact quote here.
Another happy landing.
And if that case, if I would have said, a happy landing, I'm wrong.
Wow, what a happy landing. You're wrong. That's not the exact quote.
The quote is another happy landing. If any of those words are off, you're wrong.
Exactly.
In this case, I cited the quote to prove my point.
Because had you just said hatred, whose hatred?
Yeah.
Anybody's hatred? Had you said your hatred, quoting the line,
you're not telling who.
You're right because it's the quote, but whose hatred? Who's yours?
So I cited the quote because, so what? What is it that he says is his hatred? Who is he talking to in that moment? Luke's all right. Hatred. So you need to have Luke and hatred on your board, and you need to say Luke's hatred.
All bases covered.
Yeah.
Because they did not ask for an exact quote.
Yeah.
They just asked for what was the thing Vader said could destroy him. Only your hatred. You're talking to Luke's hatred. The most complete answer you could have given.
That's the
There's none of this, somebody else said, I don't think this came from just one person. I think I've seen a couple people make this argument.
Yeah.
Well, on the same, piggybacking on the same, Luke's hatred comes from Luke. There were people that were like, it's not like hatred is going to come out of Luke and physically kill Vader and then jump back into Luke. What are you talking about?
I hate this argument. So much because what? It's like, when you look in the context of it and, the Vader, like, and it's not even that Luke's hatred destroys Vader. It's Vader's compassion. It's like, this isn't a Schmoedown.
We're not talking philosophy here.
This isn't a Star Wars podcast hour. This is a trivia show.
Yep.
A question is asked. You answer the question.
What did Vader say?
What did he say? Oh, only your hatred can destroy me. Who's he talking to? Luke.
Luke's hatred.
If
Boom, A, then B. Answer. That's like something you learned in 7th grade.
And even Scrimshaw went as far as, when the match was over, it's like, the correct answer was Luke's hatred.
He had the more complete answer or something like that.
I would say that's and this is me defending myself, and my answer is, I think that is the answer.
Yeah.
And I wasn't challenging the fact that, Scrimshaw is wrong. Well, you know what I mean? Like that Scrimshaw's answer wasn't complete.
He was on the right track.
I was challenging the answers within the sheet. And it's like, there's only one answer here. And for some reason, there's other answers within the question in the sheet that's being asked. It's like, no, I'm challenging that there's only one correct answer here.
Right.
And the one that I gave was the correct answer.
Right.
So.
And I was like racking my brain this whole time, like trying to think of a good analogy. I didn't come up with a great one.
Yeah, I think this.
But like the only analogy I could think of that was Star Wars related was like the people that are making this argument. They're like, well, Luke's hatred comes from Luke, so technically Luke is right. My question that I would pose to them is like, what killed Padme?
What did Padme die from?
And if you say, broken heart, she lost the will to live.
Those are
exactly.
Yeah.
You're right, because that's what that droid told Obi-Wan. Your answer wasn't Anakin, even though Anakin technically, by extension,
caused
the underlying broken heart and lost the will to live.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin did not kill her. Anakin's not what destroyed her. The broken heart and the losing the will to live.
Yeah.
That's what she died of.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just, I was trying to think of like a good analogy. Like,
I think it's a good one.
It's a decent one. It's not the best. I wish I could.
Because
think of a better
it
one.
all depends on the wording of the question.
Exactly.
What if it was a thing of the droid? What does the droid say causes Anakin or Padme's death, or like what is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's worded in a certain way and you say, oh, Anakin, it's like you're not wrong in a certain degree, but you're not correct.
Because I saw some of the people complaining. Well, it was a vaguely worded question. It wasn't a very specific question.
It's a very well written question.
I think it was a well written question.
It was a very well written question, and it had every context clue you needed to get the correct one.
Yeah.
What did Vader say? Was the only thing that killed him. If you go back and watch the movie, it's like, all right, who's he talking to in that moment? Luke. What does he say could only destroy him? His hatred. Luke's hatred. Boom. There's your answer.
I don't understand where the controversy is.
I don't either, but
the only thing that I can think of is that there were people that just either didn't want you to win, or people that just really wanted Joseph to win.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're that invested in a sport, that's what happens.
Yeah. I mean,
we want to treat this like a sport, so that's what happens. We can't blame people for getting passionate, because look at what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're getting heated and passionate right now because we're invested in it too.
Yeah, and I won the match.
Exactly. So. But like, I mean, I'm not gonna fault somebody for getting passionate about the Schmoedown. I don't understand the logic, and I just don't see the controversy. But I'm never gonna say, stop it. You're get out of here. You're not welcome in the. It's whatever. You're allowed to get passionate. You're wrong.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to get passionate.
Yeah. So we've tried. We have one more match we got to go over.
Actually,
so let's go ahead.
Get to that.
And I think we're gonna come back to this point to. I want to come back to this to talk for another point in this match. You don't have to wait long because, my God, challenges galore in this match.
Good
Jeez.
Lord. So we get to Molly Magic Damon, right?
Yeah.
I think that was her name.
Versus
Adam the Razor Wit, even though his name was Laser. He's a trip. So round 1, I think it was like, question 2?
Yeah.
That we issued our first challenge. Sorry, I was just like getting excited over one of the questions before. So round 1, I think it was question 2. Mm-hmm. The question was, how long did Maz run the watering hole? Mm-hmm. Molly said 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. Adam said over 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. Sam Levine chimes in and goes, I just watched something recently that made me think that we have to be very specific in our answers. Mm-hmm. Wonder what? Mm-hmm. So he challenged it, saying that the answer was 1,000 years, not over 1,000 years. Yeah. So they deliberated. Mm-hmm. They decided to uphold the challenge.
Yeah.
Wit was not awarded the point.
Yeah.
Do you have any comments?
Let's move on to the next one because I
we'll
want to lump all these challenges together just
Okay.
so we can, I want to get my point across on these because
Gotcha.
I have my own thoughts on this.
I got you, baby. So then I think like the very next question was that on Hoth, they decided to the general decided to reroute all power to what? One of them said deflector shield. I think Adam may have said deflector shield.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Adam said
then I think Molly said shield generator.
Yeah.
Adam challenged and he said, well, the actual quote is
energy shield and
whatever he said.
Deflector shield, yeah.
I forget who said which one, but he was like, well, the quote is, and then he cited whatever he said, deflector shield, whichever one he said.
Yeah, he said the quote is they wrap all power to the deflector shield.
Right. So then they deliberated and they came back, and Andrew actually said this before they came back
It's
from
like the
deliberation.
quote is wrong.
The actual quote is
Energy shield.
And so when they came back from deliberation, they said that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The actual quote is energy shield.
shield.
The challenge is upheld. Neither of you get it.
Yeah.
So neither had the right answer. Neither got awarded the points.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't the very next question, but a couple questions down the road in round one, who interrupts Shmi's funeral with an urgent message? Adam says C-3PO. Molly says R2. Adam challenges. Very sure that C-3PO was the one that came in and was like, R2 has a message.
Yeah.
So he challenges it. Deliberation. Sorry, your challenge is overruled. R2 was the one with the urgent message. You lose your challenge.
Yeah, no, because the point was 3PO was there the entire time.
Exactly.
R2 is the one that actually enters in and interrupts because everybody turns and looks at him.
Right.
So that's who interrupts.
And I think that's actually, I don't think they challenged again.
No, that's all the challenges. So here's the thing. I agree with
the 1,000 years.
I agree with the 1,000 years because you said this,
to an extent
because there's 1,000 years is a finite number. It's not like
it's a quantifiable.
It's the better
answer.
Yeah. And when you say over 1,000 years, what are you saying? 1,001.
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000 years, 1,500 years.
They weren't asking for the exact quote.
Yeah, but yeah, again, citing the quote, Han says 1,000 years. So Molly is absolutely right in her answer.
Yes.
Wit is somewhat right. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, but he's not completely right.
Yeah.
And I do agree that we have to be really precise in these, but the second challenge with the energy shield and the shield generator, this one I would have awarded both of them points.
I would have definitely given both of them
because, again, you're citing a quote to because for my challenge, again, it wasn't a quotes question. I'm just citing the quote to prove my point.
Right.
Adam was trying to do the same thing, and ended up backfiring on him. But even if the challenge was what was that way, I would have went. You're both right because again, we're not looking for an exact quote. We're looking for what was the power rooted, and this is where people are gonna be like, "Oh, but you said this in 6 degrees, whatever." It's like, all right. So looking at their answers in the context of the question, what was power rooted to? What says deflector shield? Deflector shield is pretty much the same thing as an energy shield.
Yeah.
Molly says shield generator. A shield generator generates a deflector shield or an energy shield. They're both right.
It's another name for the same thing. It's not like you're saying, well, they said to reroute it to the energy shield, but that was ordered by Riken, but that was ordered by this person, and they actually meant this thing.
Yeah.
It was like it's a different name for the same thing, which I don't necessarily think is what happened in your match.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know exactly how to put it into words, but I just do not think. I mean, going from the concept of hatred to a person because you say that one comes from the other, I think is a bit of a different challenge than this is, I call it potato, you call it potato.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it because, again, they're not looking for an exact quote with these questions.
Right. And if they are,
they're
then
looking for an answer.
Every single question needs to be a quote question in that case.
If that's the case, then we're going to, it's like you're going to have to be really careful how you answer these questions because if it's not the exact quote, then
every question is going to be a quote question.
Yeah, because in that case, prime example, Ben Kenobi was an answer in my match. It's like, who's the first person that Luke reaches out to
Cloud City.
when he's hanging from Cloud City? I said Ben Kenobi. Joseph said Ben. We're both correct.
Because and somebody in chat was like, "Oh wow, Joseph's been giving incorrect answers."
No,
he did not. That was a correct answer.
It was a correct answer. It's a simpler answer.
Yeah,
it's not as specific as what I said, but it's still correct.
Because if you think about it, he literally called out Ben.
Ben. He doesn't say Ben Kenobi.
No, and then if you also think a little deeper. In that point, chronologically, we don't know any other Ben. We don't know Ben Solo. We don't know Ben Quadraneros. That's the only Ben we know of at that point.
Yeah.
So, how did we get there? It's just different ways of saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, the first challenge, I kind of agree with Sam on this, but it's kind of like, come on, guys. It's the first round. If you're that desperate for points, make them up somewhere else.
Yeah, and we were talking about it as we were watching it. We watched this match 1.5 times. And the Maz question with the 1,000 years, over 1,000 years, I get it. Mm-hmm. It's a round one question. If I were a judge, I could have been happy with it either way. Yeah. I would have been happy giving Adam the point.
Yeah.
I'd have been happy saying, no, your challenge was overruled.
Yeah, and on the first question, it's like...
I think it was the second question.
No, it was the very first question,
really?
The 1,000 years. It was the very first question.
Dang.
And it's like, there's this joke. I was listening to other podcasts, and it's like, the first 3 questions of this match...
Lasted an entire match.
Yeah, it lasted 45 minutes. It's like, jeez, we're still in the first round?
And honestly, in my personal opinion, and I want to be careful with how I say this, the first challenge, I think, was... valid.
It was valid enough, yeah.
Because I did see somewhere someone was like, well, over 1,000 years, that's fine too, because, it's not like, are we saying that day was the 1,000 year anniversary? That day?
Yeah, that exact day, yeah. That's a good point.
So technically, it is over 1,000 years, unless that was the day of the... It's like, listen, that's where you get into mincing your words, like, all right, are we 6 degreesing here to get to the right answer? Mm-hmm. I still think that was a legitimate challenge. I would have been personally happy either way. Yeah. I understand why they ruled it the way it did, and it is technically the more correct answer because that's what they said in the movie.
What, the 1,000 years?
The 1,000 years is what they said.
Yeah,
Molly was right.
Like spot on correct.
Adams was one that if nobody challenged it, I wouldn't have really batted too much of an eye.
I would have been like, he's right. He's right.
The quote was such and such, but I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah, it's like he has the correct answer on his board. He said 1,000 years, so whatever.
Molly was correct, though.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Molly was the correct one.
Yeah.
But I feel like the second 2 challenges from the dungeon with the energy shield
and the shield generator.
And the C-3PO interrupting the funeral.
Yeah, the second challenge was like...
They were passion challenges. I don't think they were challenges with... I think they were more of like... I'm trying to spite you.
Yeah. How dare you challenge my first question?
Exactly. Well, I'm going to show you what I know. Mm-hmm. I'm still
flexing.
mad.
He's trying to flex in the moment.
Flex. And I think it was more of it was an impulse challenge more than a logical, I'm going to think this through. It was more of a reaction like, well, I'm still mad that you challenged my question and I got overruled. Mm-hmm.
And
which I wish that he wouldn't have done.
Yeah, because it ended up costing him a point. But in the same point, he cost Molly her perfect round,
right?
Because if he would have let it go, she gets a perfect round.
Who knows if she would have gotten the bonus?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good and a bad move at the same time because like you're taking away points from your opponent, but you're also losing points.
It's a double-edged sword. You took away 1 point from yourself, but you took away potentially 2 points from your opponent. Mm-hmm. You don't know. Maybe she wouldn't have gotten the bonus. Maybe she would have. Mm-hmm. So you lost a point for yourself. You potentially kept her from getting an extra point. Mm-hmm. So it's like, was it worth it? I don't know. I just feel like the challenges were more from emotion than they were from logic.
And just the thing that I'm thinking of, like, it's when you compare it to my challenge, it's like, again, I could have challenged Scrimshaw's second round question. I decided not to because, like, you never know what's going to happen in the next round. I might end up needing it anyways, which I did. It's like, why are we wasting challenges in the first round?
Round one.
Yeah, be a little more be smarter with your challenges because you never know what might happen.
Yeah. So those were the 3. I mean, I personally feel like the second 2 challenges were kind of like not needed. Mm-hmm. The second one was whatever. I would have been all right with it either way, although Molly was correct.
Yeah.
So, anyways, round 1.
Went on with that one. Wow.
So, round 1, 7-9 in favor of Molly. Round 2, Adam goes first. He gets Revenge of the Sith. He goes multiple choice twice. His first multiple choice was, how does Mace Windu disarm Palpatine during a duel?
Yeah.
He missed it, and Molly missed it, so no steal. The second multiple choice was, what leads to jealousy? He got it right after he went to multiple choice. Molly goes second. She gets solo. She goes to multiple choice. What did Han say his dad did for a living? CEC plant. She got it. And then she went to multiple choice again for who killed Dryden Voss. She got it. So by the end of round 2, it was 14-17 in favor of Molly.
Yeah, and that Dryden Voss one, she knew it just like it.
She was confirming.
Yeah. Well, no, she admitted that it fell out of her head for a second.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, see, it happens to everybody. There are moments where it's like, well, no, I know this one. Why can't I pull it right now?
It is in my head. I just can't find it.
Yeah. And you saw when she goes where she's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
So.
And then round 3. 2 points for Adam. He gets creatures and aliens. What's Sebulba's species? He's a dangerous little Doug. He gets it.
Dangerous Doug calls Sebulba.
Dangerous little Doug. 3 point for Adam. Episode. He gets Force Awakens. Phasma orders Finn's blasters for what? After the thing on the village. He got it. Bounces to Molly. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Who requested the creation of the clone army? Side with the edge. 3-pointer for Molly. Who said it? I grow tired of asking this, and there was more to the quote. Tarkin, she missed it, and then it goes back to Adam.
Does it go back to Adam, or does it stay with?
I don't know. That's what my notes say.
I think it goes back to Adam to Todd. I can't remember.
I don't know. If I was really quick at math, I could probably. But I just had that her 3-pointer. She missed it. That Tarkin said that quote, unless I meant that she got it.
No, she missed it.
So, anyways, 5-pointer for Adam, who was the 2-time winner of the Boon to Eve Classic. Buzz Roar.
Yeah.
He missed it, and then it bounces to Molly for her 5-pointer. She got villains. Dooku's home planet. I mean, it was a longer question.
Yeah.
But it boiled down to, what was Dooku's home planet? Sereno. And that was a fantastic
pool. I mean, for people that aren't familiar with the Clone Wars, because she admitted that like the only reason she knew this question was because of Clone Wars.
The show, not the movie.
Not the movie, because this I believe this planet doesn't even show up until the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
You don't even hear about this.
But yeah. Molly, that was a fantastic 5-pointer. God.
Yeah, no, that was very impressive. So now in round 2, it's gonna be me versus a Damon. I get a Damon, but not the right one.
Dimalanta, Damon.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Because again, as I've said it before, like I don't care who I face in the second round, but I am excited to play Molly.
We haven't met her since Chicago.
Yeah, both of our first matches were the Fatal 5 in Chicago. I said it before, nerves got to her, and she forgot, and she did improve on those where she did remember to go in multiple choice and things like that. She did have a couple of brain farts here and there for the most part, but
who doesn't?
I'm excited to see how this next match shakes out. I'm not taking Molly Damon lightly.
No, for sure. I mean, your match was
oh God.
I mean, people are saying that it's a contender for match of the year. It's one of the best Star Wars matches, second to maybe the Iron Man match. Some people think it was better. It was a fantastic match. Molly's match was great too.
Just with the drama and the back and forth.
The challenges, holy crap.
Yeah.
But, it's going to be great. But, I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, the preparation is the same as always. I mean, the same way I prepped for Scrimshaw is going to be the same way I prep for Molly Damon.
Because you got the same end goal in mind.
Yeah, preparing for Alex.
If you prepare for the champion, you're prepared for anything that comes in your way.
Yeah, and that's been our mindset. It's been my mindset since the beginning.
And just because you say that doesn't mean you're calling out the champion.
No, and I said that in my match.
Give me Damon.
No, I've never said give me Damon. Now it's like.
That's what I'm preparing for.
That's what I'm preparing for.
You are lying if you say you're not.
If I have to earn my way to get to him, which I have to do right now in this tournament.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is the way.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Boom.
Mandalorian. Wow, look
but
at
yeah,
that.
I'm excited to play Molly. And that intro was very creative. That was very fun.
Very, very.
It was a lot of fun.
Creative.
Mm-hmm.
Very
inventive. Very creative, very inventive, very niche to the division. It's, recreating basically a scene from Star Wars.
I enjoyed the necklace grab. That was great.
I like when he's trying to touch the belt at the end. That was very funny.
Fearless and inventive, that one was. Get it? Get it? That was the quote I was trying to get.
But yeah.
But, did you see that Dimalanta match? I mean, can I just say, there's been an awakening.
Have you felt it?
Have you felt it?
Yeah.
So,
and I know you're sick of hearing. You were totally.
I don't ever want to hear the words 0-2 ever again in my life.
You don't have to, because I'm not 0-2 anymore.
I don't ever want to hear those words again. I'm so excited that I never have to hear those words again.
You're excited. Jeez.
I am so happy that I never have to hear that again.
And I would like to, people are like, oh, he's got the monkey off his back. It's like, I don't have the monkey completely off my back anymore. Like, I have the O and the wing column off my record.
We got over the first hill,
but
there's still a mountain.
That does not mean that the hunger and the passion is gone.
And it doesn't mean that it's still smooth. It's not smooth sailing.
Are you guys listening? The passion and the hunger is still here. I am not done with what I'm doing. The first hurdle, the first big hump that I had to get over with Scrimshaw is done with. It took all I had to get past Scrimshaw. I am not done in this division. I'm going to go to the final. I'm going to meet Alex, and that is the ultimate goal. So to say he's the monkey's off his back, the pressure's off him now. No, the pressure's still there. The pressure I'm putting on myself to get past all these opponents is still there.
It's just the fuse has been lit.
It's just a matter of how long it's going to take for the explosion to go off. So,
damn,
that was bad. I don't Eric, don't use that, please.
Let's start again.
I can cut that out. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play Molly.
These matches have just been.
Yeah,
oh my
and
God.
If anybody, and I saw this posted in the Facebook group. I don't know I should be staying out of it, but I just wanted to see what people were saying about the match. There's just one post that was like, I was one of these people that said the Star Wars division shouldn't be a thing anymore. Yeah. But after this tournament, I am completely flipped. I'm like, you better be, because
I've seen a couple posts like that.
Because this is the division. These are the matches you're going to get with this type of competitors. Look at my match with Scrimshaw. This is not the last time you're going to see a match like this.
Look who you got. I mean, you had the, I don't want to say old guard, because there's
the legends. The legends of the division.
You got your Ken Knapsacks, you got your Joseph Scrimshaws, but look at what you've cropped up now. You've got Andrew Dimalanta. You've got Laura Kelly.
On the other side of the bracket.
Molly Damon.
Yeah.
You've got Adam Witt, Sean Sullivan.
Yeah.
You've got Ace Cabrera.
Yeah.
He's only had one match. Let's see what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Covedo, he'll probably be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so new and exciting, the fact that there's new blood in this tournament, and they're coming to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so exciting. And mark my words, you're not going to run out of Star Wars questions anytime soon. And if you think you are, come to me. I have plenty of questions. So you're not going to run out anytime soon.
So, yeah. And we have a full episode today. So, we knew it was going to run long, because we had so much to talk about, and we ran a little bit longer than we expected on the Star Wars matches.
Savvy.
But, Star Wars competitor, we're going to talk Star Wars matches.
I get amped up, and I'm sorry. I just, I'm the Bonnie to his Clyde, and I just, I'm ride or die, and I got to do what I got to do, and I just get excited.
So let's go ahead and take a look at next week's matches.
Oh.
I believe it's...
let me pull up my gallery of my screenshots.
Humphrey's Janine.
Yeah, we got Janine, Humphrey... We got Alex Damon, Jen Kemp.
Mm-hmm. And then the Star Wars match between Ace Cabrera and Ken Knapsack.
I'm so excited for that match.
So two that I'm really looking forward to. The Star Wars division, obviously. And also the Alex Damon and Jen Kemp one. Those are the two that I'm totally looking forward to.
Is there another IG match?
No, there's...
Or it's just the two? I'm just thinking of the fact that there's two releases, because one's Patreon and one's not. So, yeah, you're going to see Alex Damon, Jen Kemp, Janine, and John Humphrey.
So let's do Janine Humphreys.
Janine Humphrey.
I want this win for Janine so bad.
I want it for Janine.
I've been a Janine supporter for the longest time, and for whatever reason, she just cannot shake this losing streak.
Yeah.
She can't. I really want this for Janine, and I hope she does. And this is her IG debut.
Yeah.
She said in IG categories are a strength of hers. So... I really want this for her, and this is a passion pick for me. I'm taking Janine for this one just because I want this win for her so bad.
Yeah, my heart says Janine because I want her to get it. And also, like, John Humphrey. Who knew he had any interest in Innergeekdom?
Yeah.
You know, and he's one of the real rejects, and, you know, they've always been kind of like they're just a funny team, you know. But they've showed up to play.
He comes to play.
I mean, we just saw Alba knock out Warfather. Who saw that coming?
Yeah.
So I feel like my heart says Janine, but my head might be like, but real rejects have come to play this season. So I might have to give it to Humphrey.
Yeah. So let's go over to the Alex Damon versus Jen Kemp.
This one's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what Alex can do in Star Wars. Duh.
See what he can do in Lord of the Rings.
See what he can do in Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
That's two big categories in Innergeekdom, especially Lord
two
of the Rings, because
deep cut
there's like 200 movies.
Yeah, two deep cut categories.
Two deep cut categories. You know, he had the match against Emily.
Mm-hmm.
He won, obviously. It's
not the most...
It's hard to not come off like a jerk because he won against a FinStock Exchange person, but it's not as though it was like a, you know, super duper runaway victory, knocked her out in the first round kind of
like
thing.
not missing any single question. It's like he missed here and there.
He missed here and like anybody else's debut.
Yeah.
It was an Innergeekdom debut is what it was. So it's hard not to favorite Damon.
Yeah.
Because he's got an Innergeekdom record now. He's for sure got a Star Wars record.
I wonder what kind of record does he have?
I don't know. He's really not that good. But like, then you got Jen Kemp, and I believe she's a fan leaguer, and she is debuting in anything. She's never debuted in the Schmoedown in any capacity. This is her first match.
So I mean, logic says Damon.
Logic says Damon.
But I would like to see what Kemp has.
I hope that she comes to play because I don't want to. You don't really. Everybody was complaining with your match, like, when I didn't want to see it end on a challenge. What a BS call.
It's like, what, you want me to give away points here? It's like,
yeah, it's like everyone wants to see a knockdown drag out. People were like, oh man, I want to see you guys go like 20 questions into overtime.
Yeah.
I don't think I think I would have been dead in the living room if that had happened.
We were talking about this before. As a fan of the Schmoedown, I definitely want to see matches like that. I want to see 10 questions in overtime. As a competitor, I want to get this over with as quickly as possible.
So, since we're watching the Jen Alex match as fans,
yes,
I don't want to see a knockout. I'd like to see a healthy competition. I hope Jen's ready. I hope she comes to play because we obviously know that Alex is.
He's no slouch.
He's Alex Damon. Alex Damon. Yeah. You know, I hope she's ready. I hope I hope that she doesn't spin opponent's choice, and I hope. For her sake, Alex doesn't get
Star Wars.
So I just hope she comes to play because you want to see a good.
You want to see a good competition. Yeah.
Sometimes it's great to see like wow, that person just got it handed to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun to see that, and also it depends on the personality. You want to see someone that you don't like get their butt handed to them. No one has any reason to not like Jen Kemp.
Yeah.
No one has any reason to not like Alex Damon. So you don't want either one of them to get their butt handed to them.
Yeah.
So you want it to be good. You want it to be a healthy tooth and nail to the end.
Yeah. So I want it to be a close match.
I do too.
But logic says Damon.
Logic says Damon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Logic says Damon.
We have to go because we have no tape on.
I want to passion pick Jen, but I don't know anything about her, so I have nothing to base it on. So I'll probably go with Alex too.
Yeah. So the Star Wars match between Ken Knapsack and Ace Cabrera.
Less thinking for this one, personally.
Me too.
Personally, I think it's hard not to give it to Ken. Duh. Ken's a past champion.
He's champion.
The first champion, the inaugural champion. He's played in many a Star Wars match.
Multiple divisions, too. Yeah.
I don't know. Written a Star Wars book, you know?
Fantastic book, by the way.
He obviously knows his stuff. He's seasoned. He's Ken Knapsack. He's a legend. Ace Cabrera, he had one match, his debut match.
It's impressive.
It was a match, you know?
It's impressive.
So he did well for his debut match, but Ken Knapsack is Ken Knapsack. So in my personal opinion, I find it very difficult to not bet on Ken.
Yeah.
So that would be my pick.
I think this is going to come down to, it's going to be almost not a carbon copy of my match with Scrimshaw, but it's going to be a lot like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be, they maybe miss one question. either of them.
You think?
I think
so?
this is going to be closer than people think.
Wow.
Just because
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but go ahead.
I think it's going to come down to somebody misses one or two questions, and that's it.
The only credit I will give to you with that argument is that we haven't seen Ken in a long time.
Yeah, and that's my point.
So Ken is Ken Knapsack. However, it's been a hot minute since we've seen him, and we've all seen that ring rust is a real thing that does affect people.
But it's Ken Knapsack.
Yeah. I personally, I respect your opinion. I love you.
I love you.
I love you. But personally, I do not think it's going to be whoever misses one question. I don't think it's going to come down to one question.
I have this feeling that it's going to be closer than people think.
And if you're right, you can rub it in my face. But I don't think it's going to be as close as that.
And the big reason I say that, because Ace strikes me as a guy that learns from past matches, past mistakes.
I hope he does.
He might look at the rest of these matches and is like, he might look at my match and be like, okay. Got it. This is what I got to do to
He might look at Laura and Sean and go, okay.
Okay, got it.
He might look at Ken's old tapes. Oh, got it. So he strikes me as a person that does his work. And he's no slouch in Star Wars either. He knows what he's talking about. He does.
So
and it was his debut match. You got to be nervous your debut match.
I didn't say who I had. I just said it'll be closer than people think. But I do have Ken Knapsack winning the match. I just think it'll be. I don't think it's a runaway. I don't think it's.
How could you not?
I think it will come down to the last question. That's what I think.
I disagree there, but you know what? We'll see. If you're right, then I will tip my hat to you.
Yeah,
we'll see. It'd be much more exciting if it did come down to that. Because it's like, wow, Ace, wow, dang, made a name for yourself. Good job. You know, like Ken said, wow, you're dancing on my grave to make a name for yourself. But I personally don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to come down to the last question. We'll revisit this afterward next week.
Yeah. So we have both of Ken and Star Wars match. We both have Alex Damon, and I want Janine to win her match. So I'm picking Janine. You have.
I'll pick Humphrey.
It's Humphrey, not Humphreys.
Humphrey, like singular Humphrey. John Humphrey, singular. I've been saying Humphreys.
I say Humphreys all the time, but yeah, I have Janine.
But yeah, one Humphrey, singular.
Yeah. So we went the distance this one. It's an hour and a half show.
Oh no. So sorry. Thank you for sticking here.
5 matches. We tried to gloss over as much as we could.
What are we gonna do? We're not getting 5 matches every week.
Yeah.
We were so spoiled this week. What am I gonna do next week? I'm gonna have withdrawals.
Hey, we still got more. We got 3 matches to talk about.
2 Innergeekdom matches a week, and then a Star Wars match. Spoil us, why don't you, Christian?
Yeah, just make it rain. So, anyways,
do we need to go back to a studio, or can we just keep on doing it?
Yeah,
just cranking them out.
We'll talk about this in the future, because I do like that.
No, studio matches have to come back.
Studio matches have to
kidding,
come back.
Absolutely.
But anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Twitter.
Okay, DJ. All right,
Twitter.com. DJ. I'm on Twitter.com, and I say things with the name @Dimmy. DIMMMYYY.
As for me, Twitter and Twitch @Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. Please, if you are watching this on our YouTube channel, Andrew and Nikki, give us a like, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
Bell icon.
Yes, you're notified when we upload. If you're listening on audio on the Beyond the Schmoedown podcast feed, please rate, comment, follow. I don't know how much people listen to us on audio form, but if you do, rate us, please. Helps the feed out tremendously. And if you do feel so inclined to join the Patreon, become a member of the Squadron, patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki. Got plenty of things. I think we're going to be doing we put off the watch along for the longest time. I think we're going to do it this weekend, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Might have doing more play-alongs. The short film journal will be going up tonight as of this recording. And thank you again to all our supporters, especially our Squadron Commander, Tamor Butta.
What boss.
And before we wrap it up today, the day that this airs will be Monday, and tomorrow is somebody's birthday.
Oh, no. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Please write in the comments below. Wish Nikki a very happy birthday. Another year.
How embarrassing.
Happy birthday, my dear.
How embarrassing.
I love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you guys next time.